Hi Flosstube, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. Today is April 11th and it feels like spring outside. My husband's outside mulch mowing the front yard, and that's a yard where it's sort of shaded. We've had problems growing grass, and now we got too much grass. So he's always tinkering with the yard. We have some fun news to share. We have bought some property down in Oregon where we hope to retire. It's in the future, not right away, but we are, it has a tiny house on it. So it's like a 1 room, maybe 12 by 12, and a little kitchenette on the back, a little bathroom in the back. It's a place where we might stay and put our stuff sort of in storage until we build the house. But the price of lumber right now is so expensive, crazy expensive, that we don't plan to either move or build yet. So that was fun news. I've been outside working in my yard, and I have a list of things a mile long that I want to do. Been working in the house too, and just general work. Busy at work. I actually didn't have as many evenings to stitch last week. I worked a few evenings just to try and keep up on all the paperwork. So, but I did stitch, and I can't remember. I'm going to show you a couple things. I'm going to show you some WIPs today. A couple WIPs that I've been working on. One is a finish, starting to finish. I have a sort of the buffet, of the smorgasbord of WIPs that I have. I took a plate full, and that plate I'm working on in April, May. It was a little bit at the end of March too, but up to like June, beginning of June, these are the things I'm going to work on. I'm not going to finish them all, but I just wanted to work on all these WIPs. Some of them I will finish, but some of them I just want to make some progress because I haven't touched them, and I love them. They're great WIPs. Then the round 2 is June, July, and as I went through my spreadsheet that I showed you the time before last, I think the video before last, I don't know if it's last video or the one before that. Anyway, the next round is all patriotic. I got a lot of patriotic left from Stitch Mania last year that I didn't work on after that. And so I decided not to do Stitch Mania this year. I love doing it. It's so much fun. Honestly, I just want to work on the things that I already have going. And I have stuff waiting in the wings to be started too, but I'm just going to, if I want to start it, I will, but I'm not having a hankering right now. I'm just really enjoying what I'm working on. And I'm enjoying getting over the finish line with some of these things too. I'm going to show you a couple of antique samplers, and I want to show you the front and back of one. I showed it on an Instagram story, and I had a lot of questions and comments about that, so I thought it'd be fun to share it on my video. And I'll show you a little bit of haul, you know, kind of the normal stuff. So let's get started. Yeah, my eyes are blue too, Gary. If you haven't watched the Sunshine Stitchers, go watch their last video. Hashtag baby's got blue eyes. That's for you, Gary. I don't know if Gary watches my channel. I know he liked my Halloween at Hollyberry Farm, so at least he saw the screen grab for that and made a comment because he started working on that one. Don't you love, I feel like we're all friends. You know what I mean? I feel like we're all friends on Flosstube, and it's fun that we can have fun with each other. Let me see. Gosh, I've got stuff piled up here. What is the easiest way? I'm going to show you this first. So I can't remember the last time on my last video if I had started this, and I did not go back to look because I don't have time to rewatch stuff, and I don't really want to see myself again anyway. But this one was a must-have, must-start. Love the colors. Love, love, love this sampler. So this is Hannah Ann Wallace, 1850. This is by With Thy Needle and Thread. Oh, that's so gorgeous. Maybe I did show some of this. Anyway, I'm going to stick this. Oh, I did bring a little board to show you. She's done. Now, and I'm sorry, the light's kind of blowing out here. You know what? Maybe I'll do it this side and it won't be as bad. Ah, that's better. Okay. So the bird, I think it was called for Olive, and Olive, or maybe it was, no, it was a DMC, because there's a DMC, there's Olive, there's Oscar by Weeks, and they sort of looked the same. And the bird just, I didn't love it. So I changed the color and I used hickory sticks. Got a little light spot there. And I like it. It's sort of like a little chocolate bird. It's just so pretty. I think it stands out with the all the pinks and the aqua. And so I usually start in the lower left. So I started here. I was stitching this. I stitched this next. I stitched this and here. I sort of worked my way around here. And then I did this, and then I did this, and then I just say this over one right here. And then I left the big over one flower. Okay, so this is over one. This alphabet's over one. This down here is over one. This flower's over one. And this larger flower is also over one. I didn't have time for that. I was just kind of tired, and I wanted to get back to Annandale. So if I had started, note to self, I probably would have started in the middle of this particular sampler, but I usually start lower left because I have it. This was on a bigger piece of fabric, and I had it in my Q-snap, and I two-hand stitched with a lap stand. That's how I like to stitch on smaller count fabrics. On the 36, I like to stitch in hand, but 40, the needle is, I distort the threads of the fabric. I'm just not very good at it yet. I need to try it. Be a little more skilled at it. So I didn't stitch that flower. I just made up a little doodad motif, and I stuck it in there. And this is what I did. See this heart here? I just put 4 hearts in a flower. I used the same thread, and I think I used like a lighter, maybe 761. I used a lighter yellow. I demoed a couple of colors, but that's fine, right? So you can get the Brenda Keyes new sampler motif book. You could get something from out of there if you don't want to do the one over one. I just knew that I wanted to finish this. I didn't love the flower. I didn't love it enough to stitch it. And I was too far into it. I just needed to finish it. That's all I've got to say. I love it. I love the way it turned out. I can't wait to have it framed. So that was Hannah Ann Wallace. Aside from that, the other WIP that I worked on is Annandale. Now, Ann is huge. So I'm going to show you my pile of WIPs here in a second. My smorgasbord of WIPs, but I want to first pull Ann out and show you Annandale. So last time I did iron her. I love it when they're ironed. Lori from Mischievous Stitches talked about this. It feels good to have it ironed and you can see it and show it. So I got my needle miter on here. So this was stitched before, this top half, right? I'm going to fold her in half because honestly, she's so big. I'm stitching at the bottom right corner, bottom left corner, left, right, bottom left corner. That is super stitch heavy. That is full coverage. And it is so much fun to stitch. It's very time consuming. So I did stitch all of the strawberries. Come back here. All of the strawberries along here and here. I love these strawberries, and they're so much fun to stitch. And then now I'm putting the dark green, which is Forest Glade by Gentle Art. I'm working on that. And the, let me go ahead and show you the picture, if I can find what I did with it. Oh, please. There we go. Right now I'm stitching, I've stitched this side, sort of this corner here. I'm doing this part right down here. I've done this tree. I'm going to finish the green. I'm going to finish the strawberries. Then I'm going to stitch this tree next. So I thought through my strategy. I'm going to go ahead and do this next. I probably will go up and outline the cartouche. And then I'll do this one next. And then I will finish this half and I'll do that half. So that's my plan. And there's still a lot of stitching left on Annandale. It feels like I was plowing along down here. I would do one row, you know, it felt like each video I had a new row done, but this down here, that's a lot of stitching. It's a lot, but it is so pretty. I can't even. I love the colors in this. And I can't wait to have this on my wall. It's just so pretty. I do get questions on the fabric color. This is 40 count vintage patina by Lakeside. It's a green, a grayish green. It's not a bright green. It's a pretty subtle green. I love it. And this needle miner is from Kitten Stitcher, Teresa Vanette. I bought it at the Midwest Retreat. She tends to have like a stand-up magnet board that she sticks needle minders on. So it's always fun to peruse those and to look at the different needle minders. So Ann Dale, when I've been stitching on her. Would I like to get this done before June? I would like to, but I don't know if I will, because I want to show you what else is on my plate, the things I picked off of the Smorgasbord. Now I showed these in a WIP parade, but I'm going to show them again because it gets me excited. I just love all my WIPs. Okay, so the first one that's on my list is MidSummer Garden by Vintage Tulip Design. I bought this from XJU Design. And again, it's flowers. Y'all know I love stitching flowers more than anything. And it's purple. We're in purple. I'm not a huge purple fan, but I don't dislike purple. And purple is hot in quilting right now. There's an Anne of Green Gables quilt line that's a lot of purple and green. So here, let me just show you. Put it the right way. This is a light gray. I think she calls this Thundercloud. I worked on this when we had a stitching weekend at my friend Lori's house. Boy, that is really blowing that out. Let me pause. I'm going to turn one of my lights off here. Hold on. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay. You know, you get the thing where the camera just starts flashing. Anyway, so this is where I am. It's MidSummer Garden. I would say if I could get, I worked on this over at a girlfriend's house, at my friend Laura Textiles' house when we had a girls' weekend. And I started this. I did not work exclusively on this. It seems like this goes really quickly. So if I could get half of this done, if I could get this bottom half done, that would be fun. And I would be thrilled with that. And I think that's achievable. So again, I'm not going to get everything done. I have a lot of WIPs. Some of them they're in various stages of completion. So I won't eat all my mashed potatoes on my plate, but I'll eat some of them. The next one is, here, let me just tuck this back in my bag, or there's going to be some delays when I'm done with this video. Okay. The next one is Harriet Hunt Sewing Patch. This is by Sub Rosa Designs on Etsy. I love everything that she makes. Her stuff, I'm not a big people stitcher, but I love her girls. This is how far I am. It's huge. But honestly, okay, so I think this is probably, I don't know, you probably could stitch that in a few days. It's not, there's a fair amount of stitching between these two, but it's just a border, some words, and a vase and a gown. So I would stitch it, but you know, in terms of finishing, getting it FFO'd, that might take a while. These are kind of fun colors. Outside of my normal stitching colors. Goes with my craft room though. So there's that one. The other Sub Rosa that I have is Flower Sampler. And this one is, let's stick on the back of this. This is how far I am on this particular design. The Greek key is fun to stitch. And then you've got the hearts, and then look at that flower. I love that. These are the colors. So they look more like they should be brighter, but they're pretty subtle. Sometimes they stitch up looking different too, right? Am I right? I'm right. Here is, so when I did my WIPs and I put them on my spreadsheet, I have 14 extra large. Andale is the biggest, but they're big projects, and it doesn't account for stitch density. So I can have something that's a large that's actually more involved than an extra large, but it just doesn't have, the total area is not as big. So it's okay. It's okay. In this go around, I have a handful of smalls. I think those two I considered smalls. I think I have 4 smalls and 2 extra larges, and then some larges. I don't even know if I have any mediums that made it into the first go around. The next one is Heartstring Samplery, Stars and Stripes Forever. This is like, I should have this done in about an afternoon, because I'm more than, I mean, the top is almost done. It just goes lickety split. I did that in a couple of hours. So I'll sit down, and then I will FFO that one. It's super cute. There's some over 1 on this. The lettering is over 1. It's really cute. And this is the backing fabric. I'm all about patriotic right now. I cannot wait to get to my patriotic stitches. So I did, get this one going. This one is on the list. So I'm so excited about that. I do have another one actually in here too. Oh, these little metallic threads they get everywhere. All right, what's this? Oh, that's pattern. That's pattern. One of my Stitch Manias from last year made it in my first go around. This is on the 40 count lamb's wool that I used. A lot of patterns were on this, the smalls, but man, it's like stitching up through cardboard, super stupid thick. But this is 12 Houses Sampler by the Drawn Thread. And this is how far I am. This goes really quickly. I think I was supposed to use a specialty stitch in one of these trees, and I forgot to look at my instructions, and I didn't do it, and I'm just going to leave it. So that one, again, that one won't take that long, a day or two, and that should be done. So it would be nice to get some of these WIPs done and threads back. Here's my pile of threads. As per usual, the Lisa thread method. All right. I have this one. Blackbird, what's this called? With my needle. And Carol Saltbox said this was her favorite Blackbird she's done. So I decided to do this one on 32 count, I think. It looks like vintage buttercream to me when I look at the picture, when I look at the fabric. I don't have a lot done, but it goes really fast because it's not densely stitched. The flowers have more stitching to them, but the cornucopia goes super fast. Basically, it feels like it's outline stitching. Here. Fun colors. I really enjoy this. I can't wait to get back to this one. This is 2/2. This is 32 count, I think. It's either 28 or 32 count. So some of these I use larger counts because I want to be able to see the stitched piece. Now this also, if you stitch this over 1, you can make a pin cushion that would be adorable. I know that Blackbird is reprinting a lot of things, and if you want to see something like this be reprinted, I would go to maybe their blog, contact them, and give them your vote. Tell them, I really want you to, I would really love it if you could reprint with my needle. Because, I mean, nobody does patriotic like Blackbird. Just saying. Just saying. I think, is that it? No, it's not it. Of course it's not it. That's not it. So I have Hoity Toity on my list. Now, where I was last time, I haven't worked on this since last time. In fact, I haven't worked on any of these except for Andale and Hannah and Wallace. So this is Hoity Toity. I am not using a conversion. This is straight up DMC, and I think this is 40 count pecan butter. It's not vintage. So this is as far as I've gotten on this. And my goal stitching on this time is to complete the center band. So really that should, that's totally doable. I would say that that's probably, maybe, let me look at this. Where am I? Oh yeah, I've got quite a bit of that done. Maybe a few days worth of work to complete the center band, because truly I've already got the top scallop done. I just have to do the bottom scallop, a little bit of the sides, and then 4 medallions. And I'll probably leave one open for the date. You know what? That's a kiss of death when you put the date on there. It never works out that way. I should say it rarely works out that way for me anyway. If y'all are dedicated and, you know, honest and true to what you commit to, then you're a better person than me, just to say. And the last one I believe that's on here is Lead Sampler. I started this one, I want to say it was Stitch Mania the year before last, and I haven't worked on it, but truly I love this sampler. I don't know why I haven't worked on it. Well, I do know why. I've got too many other priorities. That's why. And I'm stitching this, I think this is 40 count platinum. I'm using the sulky threads. All right, so this is going to be diverse opinions on this. These are plump threads, meaning that they're thicker than 1 strand of DMC. They're more equivalent to 2. This is a little full, but I sort of really like it. And this is how far I am. If I could get, oh, what would be reasonable? Maybe half of this medallion done. I don't know. I think I'm going to run out of days. That's the problem. I'm not going to have enough days. But if I could get like this done, I would be happy. And I could see myself stitching on this and then wanting to stick with it until it's done. Because these letters, I love those letters. I might, I don't know. For balance, I think I'd have to stitch that bottom section. I don't mind the verse. I don't love the font. It's all like stitched with back stitch type stitches or straight stitches. So whatever. It'll get done. So those are the ones that are on my plate. Gone through the smorgasbord. These are the things I selected to eat this meal. I have a lot to choose from. My eyes are bigger than my stomach. And but I'm looking forward to working on these projects. Let's look at haul. A little bit of haul, and then we're going to talk about some antique samplers. Oh, I'm so sorry I knocked you. A little bit of haul. I don't remember if I showed you this last time. This is my first year of being in Tammy Latimer's club. It's the Little Bird Club, I think is what it's called. This is called Spring's Messenger Pin Keep. I may have shown this last time. I don't know. But look at, I want to show you how, look at this. That is top notch. Top notch. And I love the thread keep and the little bird charm. Top notch kit. Worth it. What I like is you pay all at once and you're done and you just get presents in the mail all year. I really like that. I don't mind doing that at all. So she's on Etsy. I don't know if she's like it's still available. You'd have to go look. This is my first one though, my first kit. All right. What else? Ooh, there's some Stitchy Kindness in here. I want to save that for next. I kind of a safe search for primitive traditions patterns on eBay. And I think if I show you this one, it's not too shiny. Well, let me take it out. I wish that they were still designing. I really like their designs. That was Abigail Colby was one that I had done. I have another one that's good. What's it called? I don't remember. I want to start it, but not yet. They have several. Anyway, this is called The Shelter of Each Other, and it says, how prized and esteemed is a friend on whom we may ever depend. Our joys when extended, increase our griefs when divided, are hushed into peace. I hope I read that right. It seemed like I was missing some punctuation in there, but I love this little, I really like that. I have a handful of their patterns. And Hobby House Needleworks in New York, they have fantastic service. I'm just going to say they have beautiful pictures on their website and they have very great service. I picked up the last two, but I got the majority of these through Hobby House. I picked up the last two of these from the Silver Needle. So that completes the collection. I'm about collection completion these days. Like, I'm afraid things are going to go away and I'm not going to be able to get them again. And I finished up. So I've seen several people stitch this. I do love this. Dear Daughter of Mine. Honestly, I looked at this. I thought you could put whatever you want down there. You could completely take that off and just stitch this like it is. Whatever you want to do, right? You can make it your own. Then I finished this grouping. I was talking with Lori Textiles about this particular series, and I think there's one that's not as easy to get right now. And I want to say it's the one that I really like the most, so I bought that first. Maybe Rosie Garden or Rosie something. But this is sort of, I like the simplicity of this one. My Heart's Design. And I'm waiting for somebody to stitch all of these and post them, because I think that's been done where they stitch them all together and put them as a collection on the wall. But I haven't seen as many people stitch this series, and I feel like once people start stitching it and showing it on Instagram, that like the floodgates are going to start where a lot of people are going to be stitching it. This is My Friend's House. Now, isn't this funny, this wonky gray down there? I think it might change that one, but I love the variegation of this one. The Fruitful Vine. Bluebird of Happiness. I love this. Doesn't this look like an English paper piece flower? And Mother's Day. This flower reminds me of the flower in the Garden Club series. But I love these. You could just stitch this. Actually, you could just take that off, drop it down, drop these down a little bit, and stitch this bottom half. That would be cute. And let me close my laptop here. I have something else on my table. So I'm overrun with fabric yet. I keep building my stash. I feel like I must be in competition. I have seen this kit for a while now on social media. I don't know when it was released. I have tried not to buy it 100 times, I'm telling you, but this is just right up my alley. This is by Minnick & Simpson. The kit is called Rosalyn. I say this is where cross stitch meets quilting. And these are all pre-cut. So the good thing about these appliques is they come cut all as one piece. And there's, and I say that each one of these is all cut as one piece. So you really just have piece edges, a piece border, and then this is whole cloth, and you lay that on top and applique it, and you're done. Todd and I, my husband and I, were talking about this. I was like, I think there's maybe some more interesting quilting for people who prefer ease and convenience. And the quilting world is really innovating to provide that to customers. I think it's very interesting, the evolution of business and how companies that are surviving are providing services that customers don't even know that they want, right? So a special thank you to a friend of mine who was stitching this on Instagram. I didn't get her permission to say her name, but you know who you are. She finished this and then out of the blue just asked me if I would like the pattern. And this is from the Dying to Stitch retreat that I didn't sign up for last year. And I saw this pattern and I was like, oh, so many regrets, right? This is the third one in the Rhode Island Sampler series, the Quality Sampler. And I think I'm going to stitch it first. But I want to get through a couple of my WIPs before I start it, because I want to do all three of these together. And I would guess, because it came out last year, that Paulette might really release this year. I know that there's the Heritage Sampler, the new Constellation, right? The Quality Sampler, and I'm curious to see. I'm going to the Midwest retreat at the end of the month, and Paulette is a designer. So we'll see what she comes out with at that retreat. I love her stuff. She's one of my favorites. So thank you for your generosity. I was blown away. It was so kind. So my sister stitched this. I had it in my stash and she was shopping, because that's what we do, right? Family, she comes over and she shops. And I think I was like, nah, I'm never going to stitch this. And so she stitched it and I saw it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to stitch it. Can I have that back when you're done? And she's like, oh yeah. So I love the sort of rosy blush browns in this pattern. I think it's easy on the eyes. And I haven't decided yet, but I might convert this to blues and greens, do a different colorway. But I do love this too. So I cannot decide what to do. But I'm not going to work on it right away. I was just thinking about that though. You know, just thinking that maybe I'd convert that. Oh, I forgot to show you. I got a Blackbird pattern. I've never seen this one. Antique Fair. Just a pamphlet, but I just love their style. I love everything about their style. So let's talk a little bit about antique samplers. And I dropped my, well, I guess I'll have to grab it here. Hold on. I'm trapped. I'm trapped behind my table. I don't want to, hopefully I didn't knock you guys too hard. This is my little board. My little show board. Okay. I need to drink a coffee first. All right. This sampler is, I bought this one a year or two ago. Probably 2 years ago. This is, oh gosh, ANNIS Smith Murray. I showed this on an Instagram story. Somebody told me how it's pronounced. It's not Aeneas. I'm not sure. Somebody shared with me how it was pronounced, and I can't recall what it was now. But this is fairly faded. You can see where it was nailed onto a board. It was very common to do that. This is a looser weave fabric, and it's wool. So this is a lily and some pansies, and I think this is a very curious design because you got this kind of swirly, scrolly alphabet. Flowers, 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 and then there's this bird whispering into this owl's ear. Is that not hilarious? Now this is, what year is this? Does it have a year on it? Oh yeah, 1889. So this is Victorian. And so the color palette is pretty faded, isn't it? It's very soft. It's, you know, olive green, Oscar green, a light pink, a light blue. This is actually still pretty vibrant, but let me show you the back of this bad boy, because this is the true color of what Anise was she stitched with. I mean, That is, shout it from the mountaintop, bright colors. And this is much more in keeping with what you would expect a young girl to stitch with if she had the choice. If she could go pick the threads that she wanted to stitch with. And wowza, that was unexpected. When I pulled it off and I looked, I was like, that is a circus of colors right there. I'm going to move you guys just a little bit this way so you can see it better. Yeah. Crazy, right? Now, I had a viewer suggest that when these are designed, if you could provide a colorway for the true colors and an alternate colorway for the faded colors. And I thought, well, why couldn't you? Truly, I mean, it's just a matter of selecting threads. I would probably chart this first because I prefer this, but I also like that there's more color here. Like brown is not my favorite to stitch in. Browns and taupes, and I would probably pick something that has a little more color. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I just thought it was really interesting. It was a huge surprise. I did not know that that was going to be the back side of that sample. I thought it was fun to share. All right, so I picked up this one. This is Charlotte Addison H12. Boy, this is so tiny. 12 years, 1880. In fact, the person wrote, he took a pen and wrote over the year, which is really nice. But this is a sampler that has a lot of blues and greens. I love the pop of blue and green on here. And this border is quite interesting. There are actually flowers in here, but it's hard to tell because they have faded so much. It's got sort of a sawtooth satin border and these fun like bluebells. I could see this being a sampler if I were to design, like I may not reproduce this exactly the way it is. I might adapt, make an adaptation and do some work around this. There's birds on here. You can't really see it, right? Because it blends in the fabric. These are over 1. I would not chart that over 1. I would do something completely different, but they're really neat. And I can't believe this girl stitched such tiny, tiny stitches. Anyway, thought I'd share that one with you. And then the last one that's come in, I don't know if I'll ever reproduce this one, but I just absolutely love it. This is from Susan Eliza Harrison, 1844. This looks like it came out of a church. Honestly, it does. Look at this, look at the top of this. I think this is the original frame. But this is a, I'm sorry for the glare. I'm trying to get something that's, you can see my setup there. Okay. It looks like it's a sampler that came out of a church because you've got, it looks like Christ and Mary, maybe a monastery there, a chalice. I'm not sure what this motif is. You have a crown. And this also looks like another crown and a cross, 2 birds, and this amazing border. Amazing border. I love it. I think the border was one of the things I loved the most. This is much bigger than I thought it was going to be when it came. I was surprised at how big it was. And the verse says, "Great is the Lord our God, and let his praise be great. He makes his churches his abode, his most delightful seat. These temples of his grace, how beautiful they stand, the honors of our native place and bulwarks of our land." So I want to say this also, this is 1844. This looks like it's also stitched in a wool. It's in reasonably decent shape. There's some linen loss in here somewhere. There's a section where the linen is lost. I think if I took this out, I'm not sure how I would frame this because I think it's just probably sitting in here. It's up against the glass. I'm not sure. But I really, really like this sampler a lot. Is this something you guys would stitch? Do you think? Give me some feedback on that. You can also do like a small, like this could be like a pin keep right there, right? Or that is here. Anyway, I'm stashing for retirement. That's my goal. Stashing for retirement. So that last time we had this Thread Brooks Primitives as a giveaway. And I want to say my question was, tell me one thing you're looking forward to this summer, or what you're looking forward to the most. Overwhelmingly, it's such emotional. I mean, people, y'all, it's like, I want to hug my grandma, right? I want to go outside and sit on the deck, you know, with my husband, or I want to see people again. It was really about, the common theme was connecting with other people. You could tell the emotional toll that this pandemic has had on morale of everyone. So I thank you for sharing and your openness to share that. I truly appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a video here with the winner of this pattern. So hold on. Okay, I think I'm finally ready. I was trying to find a random comment picker that didn't ask me to download an extension. So here, let's go ahead and pick our winner. Judy Gibbons. I can't wait to get in the pool. I read in the pool and have stitched in the pool. I'd love to stitch the sampler. Judy, I'm going to go ahead and put my email below. And so just send me an email with your address and I'll get that in the mail to you. Congratulations. Congratulations, Judy, on your win. I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the mail to you as soon as you get me your address. I am, gosh, it's about 12:30. It seems like it should be later. So I've got stuff on my list to do today. I will probably see you in 2 weeks. I've got to do taxes today. Wah, wah, wah. Nobody loves that. Got to work on taxes and maybe get a little more stitching on Andale. Get those strawberries finished, and then I'm going to pivot on to another project. So I hope you have a great day. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Take care, everyone.